Hello, hello, hello. We are live on a couple of platforms over here. YouTube live, X, we should be live. Let me know if you can't see us. We're live. And then live over here, I haven't told Sophia that we're live yet. And we are now live on LinkedIn too. Hello, everybody. I am Stefan, founder and CEO of Truflation.com and our private SQL-based blockchain Truth Network. I come here every Tuesday, but based on popular demand. And some of you, those of you who know, asked me to come back and do it on Thursday again. You seem to have enjoyed the last one, and you liked my more free talking and less sort of taking you through what everybody else would take you through. So I'm just going to cover off this today for 20 minutes. So I'm going to keep it to 20 minutes. And you can hit the flash button and tell me that I need to shut up and shut down because it's 20 minutes. But yeah, I just wanted to come and talk to you about 2025, what happened, and what we have in mind for 2026. And I will share a bit what we have in mind. So 2025 for us has been, at Truflation, a real wild time. You know, we all thought it was going to be a real bull market. Everything was going to go up. And it did go up until about after the summer, when then it sort of came crumbling down again. We hit an all-time high at 125,000, thereabouts. And now we're back down at sort of 87,000. And why? I believe it's because we have the institutionals in the market. They are now trading in and out, short trading, buying on the cheap, short trading, and then making profit on that as they have to unlock the borrowed Bitcoin that they have to then buy it back at the cheaper price again, and then pump up the price, do the same, take shorts, and then sell into that short. So that's a cycle that apparently I've been hearing is what's going on. And it's really hard for hodlers, builders to live in that environment. And the only thing we can really do is heads down, stay focused, stay crisp, stay sharp, and just keep on delivering. And that's largely what we've been trying to do throughout the year. You know, we've had some ups and downs. We've had to change some of the team members. We've had to evolve. We have to get more reliable. Our customers have been asking for more reliability, stability. And so that's really what we're focused on in 2026, get more reliable, get more stability, get more value add, identifying where there is alpha opportunity and sharing that alpha opportunity with you, either in the form of these podcasts, but more importantly on the website. So you can actually, through the platform, see where the alpha is and identify where you need to do research. And bear in mind, you have to do your own research. I am not giving you investment advice. This is purely here to act as educational or raise some eyebrows, identify some opportunities that you then can go and do research on. And I do highlight some of the areas where you should go to do research on. And if you watched last Tuesday, you will have identified 2 or 3 points that I raised where there could possibly be some opportunity and how you could possibly partake in those opportunities. Anyway, that's sort of really where you can see and hear me. Great. Okay, perfect. Thank you for giving me that update. Anyway, I don't think am I on YouTube? I'm not seeing anything on YouTube. Yeah, let's see. Analytics, anything coming through? Anyway, I'm going to keep on going because I've only got 20 minutes. So I've got 15 minutes left. Yeah, what else happened in 2025, right? It was really a big year for us. We were trying to stay focused on really doing that out. The other thing that we've been really working on is the Truth Network, right? We've been heavily focused on the Truth Network. What is the Truth Network and why is that so valuable? And why is it so important, especially in the future? we're betting, and we bet big 2 years ago on prediction markets. And so we felt we needed to build something that would appeal to prediction markets in the future. And what is that going to be? It's not going to be a ledger blockchain where you have to go back and check all the blocks. No, it's not going to be a proof of stake blockchain. It was going to be an SQL-based blockchain. Why? SQL is the programming language for data. It is the database language for data. It is the standard in which all tools have been built around for data. So all we needed to do, and it sounds so simple, but actually it wasn't. And we worked with Quill very early on, a super smart team, young and energetic founders and entrepreneurs. We spotted this opportunity really early on with them and started developing the capability of three things. One, bringing and bridging Ethereum across to an SQL-based blockchain. Number two, building out a consensus algorithm for an SQL blockchain. And then number three, creating SQL-based smart contracts, which coupled with the bridging are pretty important to do, as well as with the consensus algorithm. So those three needed to interplay with the SQL-based blockchain. Those are live today. You go to truth.network and you can see and find all the tools necessary to interact and work with the Truth network. You can set up your own node. But the validator is a very different topic. And the beauty about the Truth network is not only do you have the infrastructure there, an SQL-based blockchain with the SQL-based smart contracts, with a BFT consensus algorithm, and with the bridging, being able to bring ERC20 tokens onto the Truth network. Not only do you have those, you have access to all of the economic data that you can see live visually on the Truflation.com website. So we've managed to bring all of that to the Truth network, and we've been focused heavily in 2025 in making this a reality. Why? Because we want to combine on the Truth network, number one, the ability to have data accessible for anybody. Economic, real-world data accessible for anybody. That is what we have achieved, and that is now live today on the Truth network. So super transparent. All the inflation calculations, all the 215 indexes available today on Truflation.com, all of those calculations, all of the underlying data sources are live and visible through TruthScan on the Truth network. And think of TruthScan as the block explorer. So that we've managed to accomplish, not me, the team. The team have managed to build this out. A super committed, dedicated team with strong vision, extremely strong experience in building this out. So pretty excited about that. And yeah, happy to see that development happen all throughout this brutal market that we've gone through with ups and downs, and all of you holding Truth token. It's like, I can't, thank you more for holding, having faith in us and waiting for us to turn around and build infrastructure. The Truth network is real infrastructure with real value sitting on that infrastructure and real developers building on that infrastructure. And we'll have real monetization through the form of prediction markets that are going to run on top of the Truth network. Prediction markets are only going to grow. I've been talking about that for a long period of time. So why are they going to grow? We see maybe last year we would have had 9 to 10 different prediction markets out there. And 2025, we saw a huge growth. Maybe go up to 90, 100 different prediction markets growing. That's going to go to 1,000 next year, maybe 900 and 10,000 the year after. Why? Because we're going to see more and more specialization. We're going to see geographical specialization. There's nothing outside Kalshi, which is only for US market, and Polymarket, which is only outside the US market, now slowly crouching into the US market. And then you've got little outliers that we think are going to struggle with scaling. All of them need a third party for attestation and for resolution. If that third party goes down, if the data provider goes down, they cannot resolve those markets. And bear in mind, each of those protocols, be it Kalshi, prediction protocols, we call them, and then we have prediction markets that sit on those protocols. And one of the biggest categories is economic component. And what is Truflation brilliant at? What do you users use Truflation for? For the economic data set that we bring to market. And as we bring more and more economic data sets to market, and more of you users sign up and join and subscribe to the Truflation network. We want to give you the ability to predict on the outcome based on your knowledge, your learnings, and all the underlying data sets inside the headline APIs and CPIs and all other headline indexes. You can do your research on all the underlying elements, see what the weightings are, transpire, and then predict on those. And bear in mind that every single market on a prediction protocol is an order book, right? And every single market is a deterministic market. It's either true or false. And that is a binary option. These are futures products. And you are speculating on an outcome based on most likely scenarios based on the data that is in these indexes. And we believe indexes represent a layer to discover the underlying data sets associated with an index. And the big push in 2026 is the financialization of data. We launched the first, together with Chainlink, together with Quantum, we launched the world's first blockchain traded fund. Fully automated, using Truflation as the regime to identify buying signals for wrapped Bitcoin. Think of that. This is not going to BlackRock, going to Fidelity, going to the old school people and asking for permission. Can we tokenize your asset? No. We are building internet ground up products that you want to trade and that you prefer trading. And we do this at a fraction of the cost, in the speed of light. Actually, not quite the speed of light, because it takes a bit longer than that. But the speed at which developers can work and the speed at which auditors can review and make sure and ensure security and accuracy associated with the code, so that others like yourselves can start buying wrapped Bitcoin and outperforming just simple, basic HODL strategies. This is what we've built. And this is live today, on-chain, verified, validated, tested. And here you can actually even see a fact sheet. This is not yet live. This is still, actually, no, it is live. This is still live, where you can actually see, actually, maybe it's the test. Sorry, it's not yet live. But yeah, here you see the test date, the Truflation Bitcoin BTF, blockchain traded fund. No ETF, no exchange traded fund. It's the blockchain traded fund. And so here you can see, based on the performance, we actually do an analysis. And here you can see, if you just do a HODL only strategy, you're underperforming the Truflation BTC BTF strategy, which is deciding when and leveraging Truflation as the regime to decide when to buy and when to sell. And so we'll be optimizing this, but this is now coming and making this available for you to, number one, protect your wealth. Number two, to protect against inflation. So you are not losing and allowing your dollars to be debased. And we're doing that by allowing you to participate in wrapped Bitcoins and building strategies for you. So here, we'll go into more detail once this is live, but I just want to show you that we have been working, we have been building, and we are focused heavily for 2026 around the financialization of our data. We will also be shifting our model from a subscription-based model all the way to a per query-based model. So you will be able to buy credits in advance to then query on the TruflationNetwork.com website for data that you have. You can query directly, you can query through APIs, you can query on the website. Every single query will then allow you to draw down on some credits. And at the same time, you can forecast and provide input into predictions on the site as well. You can use those same credits to do that as well. So those are things that we are working on for 2026. But all I can say, we've gone through a couple of changes. We've had to go through revisions and change in the team to stay focused and to continue to ship relentlessly. And we have to not let our standards slip. And that's been the biggest challenge for us. What we've been really working on is really driving strength, solidity, reliability in our numbers that we can do and what we can report. And so we've really been driving hard and trying to get that across the line. And you know what we're building. I talked about what we're building, why. We need to build reliability, we need to build security, and we need to build the financialization capabilities associated with that. We need to do that on our back end, and that is the Truth Network. The Truth Network is a decentralized database that we've built up. It's infrastructure. It allows for you to build out your markets, your order book, and leverage the data for attestation on the same network. If you build a DApp on Truth Network, you don't pay gas fees. You only pay for settlement. And you can choose your source of data from the list of data providers on the network. You can have multiple data providers, but you know that the uptime is always there so that you can ensure settlement associated with your prediction market from the Truth Network. And then you pay based on the settlement, no gas fees, and you can build using a program language that you know already. You have all the tools. We will have agents to help you with market making, which we've already been building out, and we will have available for you to work with. So those are all things that are coming down the pipeline. A lot of you know we've been working in the flat coin space. We've been working with index.fun, allowing anybody to create indexes. And we will be having announcements in 2026 on what is happening with those. We have taken a bit of a back step in that activity that has been largely research and development for Truflation. And we have now taken a back step on that, but we will continue to support both those protocols. And they have found an amazing home, amazing leadership in driving those products forward. And so we will see the evolution of yield-bearing stablecoins in a different format and with an amazing team and backing and smart asset managers to continuously pursue a right balance in risk-reward ratios for the assets that are going to generate Truflation yield for those stablecoin seekers. And if there's excess yield, that also get distributed to the, let's call it, limited partners in the assets under management or in the fund itself. So those are things that are coming from a Nuon perspective. Index.fund will have and focus on funky indexes, fun indexes. You've been asking for fun indexes. We looked at the Pentagon Pizza Index. Index.fund team has been working on the deadlift index. Index.fund team has been working on all sorts of other indexes that are coming where you can trade and predict. And guess what? Index.fund will be using the Truth Network underlying what? To manage their prediction markets. To manage Index.fund is the prediction protocol. Each of them represent a market. The deadlift index will have a prediction market. It's its own market. in each of those markets, the deterministic markets, the pricing points. What will be true or false? Will it go above $3.27? Will it go below $3.27? Will it go below $3.50? Those each represent a unique market. Each one of those requires liquidity. Each one of those requires a spread and market making capability so that you can trade on each of those markets. That is going to be brought to you and delivered thanks to the capabilities from the Truth Network, the data that confirms this price point, that price point at the time of settlement. The order book that manages the spread and the trading associated with your positions in there, also on the Truth Network, in the same programming language. I don't need to go and index the data, bring that onto the Truth Network, learn a new programming language like Solidity, write that. Every time I write, I need to pay gas fees. No. None of that is possible. It is all using SQL, all using a common language, and all allowing everybody to participate in that process. So it's going to be a lot easier, a lot more interactive, and a lot more exciting for developers to engage with that. And not only that, because you're going to have so many markets, and because there are going to be so many different topics that you can build markets around, how do you ensure that long tail finds interest and finds arbitrage across that long tail? We will have agents, and our team are working on agents and providing you with the tools to build agents around that. We already have MCP capabilities. We already have the ability for allowing you to do regression analyses to identify correlation between the different products. And we have a pipeline of products underneath that are going to allow you to, number one, hedge yourself in this market and then invest in some of these indexes as they become blockchain traded funds. This is what internet capital markets is really about. This is a very clear vision of what we want to build and focus on in 2026. And this is why I'm still super excited about what we're doing. And I still think that this is going to be much bigger than I could have ever imagined. And every time we go down this path with our engineering team and trying to map out where we want to go, it just grows and grows and grows. And we have a lot of the tools available. You just need to find them on github.repos. Go to Truth Network and figure it out, learn it. Everybody can become a node operator. And what's that advantage? You get much faster access to the network. Validators, on the other hand, liquidity providers, on the other hand, you will be rewarded with protocol revenues as a liquidity provider. You will be rewarded as a validator and participate in protocol profits. All of the revenue generated on the Truth Network will be distributed to data providers, index creators. That will all be distributed automatically through the network. No people, self-custodial, permissionless, accessible to anybody. That is continuously and responding to your sentiment at the time, to your queries, to the trends in the market rapidly, to be able to validate, is this a worthy candidate to put into a BTF? Or even do the opposite. Let's not tokenize ETFs. Let's build BTFs and create ETFs using those BTFs. Let's do it the other way around. Why? That brings more liquidity to the developers in crypto land. That's what we got to build, and that is our mission for 2026. We survived 2025. We're still here. We were beaten up, hard, strong, cut, shut down, chopped off the top. We're still here, still struggling, still fighting harder than we ever can, and still full of energy. And our revenue is growing. We are being rewarded. You are rewarding us for what we're doing. And for that, we continue to thank you and continue to applaud you to tell us where you want us to go. How can we build a better product for you? Because all we're doing is we want to allow you to participate in these new financial opportunities on these brand new financial rails that are going to revolutionize financial services industry as we know it. It is your money. It is your wealth. And what the blockchain is doing and what we at Truflation are trying to do is to give you access to your money as simple and facilitate participation in any type of financial product. We are not your customer. You are your own owner of your customer. We are providing a service to you, and we want to give you access to your money. I don't want you to give you access to our protocols. Our protocols are here to facilitate services for you and your money. And I hope you enjoyed that. That is the wrap-up note of 2025, entering into 2026. And this will be my last podcast for the year. Maybe I'll do a quick one in the middle, depending on how the market's going and whatever happening. But 2026 is going to be a blast. So buckle up. Unless we go to world war or something happens, we're going to see the money printer go burr. We've talked about how the Federal Reserve is going to be buying from the Treasury tens of trillions of dollars worth of treasuries. We've talked about how the Federal Reserve, the change in leadership there, is going to drive down interest rates. Switzerland already, if that's a bellwether, if that's a leading economic indicator, has already shown us the way to ZERP, zero interest rates. Switzerland has zero interest rates. They are a leading bellwether. The franc is super high. They need to bring that down. Export is super export dependent. And they need to grow. And this is a country with some of the best engineers in the planet, some of the best engineering universities on the planet. So they're not just toll takers, they're actually creators, entrepreneurs, as well as engineering talent that are creators. But around them, you've got France, you've got Germany, you've got Italy, you've got the rest of Europe that's really struggling. The rest of Europe is in debt. The rest of Europe is trying to figure out a way to grow. And the only way Europe knows how to grow is by giving lots of money to big, established, bloated, wasteful organizations that are nowhere near in touch with the innovation that is taking place right now. And the innovation is on two fronts. It's AI. Whether you like it or not, AI is here. That cat is out of the bag, and that is happening, and it's happening at a velocity unseen before. And the second element is crypto, blockchain. Whether you like it or not, the blockchain is a decentralized rail that is going to innovate the financial ecosystem. And the financial systems do not want to lose control. You are an established legacy player. You do not want to give up control. You do not want to lose control. You're going to do everything in your power to retain and hold, lobby like crazy, build up regulations, change your liquid loan to value requirements, whatever you need to do, kick you out of indexes, whatever is possible, they are going to try and do to slow down the innovation so that they can participate. And remember, we've said this all the time, the race is around getting distribution before the legacy gets innovation. That's our race. That's the battle that we have. And that is another reason to get super excited about 2025. And if that didn't catch you, and if you didn't enjoy this, and you feel this is just another rant and rave, then so be it. Don't listen to the show, go somewhere else. But we're heavily building out at TruflationNation.com, and we build reliable numbers that you can track every single day. You don't need to wait. Sorry. We got to lag our numbers. We can't report on the date that we were supposed to report. We'll report 10 days later. So sorry. We can't report the full number spectrum that we usually report because we've had a budget cut. So we need to report fewer numbers, and we're going to give you a number that everybody's going to believe, and the whole FOMC and the Federal Reserve and central bankers are going to work off those shitty numbers. Excuse my language, but that is the case. We're working in an economy, the world's largest economy, and we're working off bastardized, lying statistics. We can't do that anymore. We are beyond that. And we here in the blockchain world, innovating in finance, continuously to drive and pushing new dimensions and bringing new products into the market. We are creating a new platform, and we need to drive this new platform forward. It's up to us. Or we can just try and take their products and try and tokenize it, ask them for permission, give them all our hard-earned crypto so that they can have that money. The same players that we tried to take the money away from and innovate because they misled us down a road, and they still are, by the way. Look at the debt, $40 trillion in debt. The interest payment alone is above $1 trillion. How? And that's bigger than the defense budget, which is the biggest pool of innovation that takes place, is from the defense budget. How are we going to live in a world like that? How can we trust a world like that? How can we trust old people that want to go take us to war, destroy everything, and don't want to facilitate trade? They want to clamp down on your ability to do trade because they're not involved in the trade chain, value chain, right? They want to interject themselves. And so we feel that, and the advantage of the blockchain has done is it allows peer-to-peer electronic cash, peer-to-peer truth settlement system. That's what the Truth Network is trying to do. Allow for settlement based on truth and based on the source that both parties agree on. That's what we're trying to do. And we're going to make all of that available. And it is already available, by the way. I don't know what we're talking about making it available. We want to actually financialize that, and we will have that launching live in January. So stay tuned to Truflation.com and find out what we're doing. Anyway, I've already gone over my 20 minutes again. I just can't keep it within 20 minutes. I just get so excited. And I hope you get excited as well. And get excited for 2026, because we will see a lot of change. And by the way, if you think that of the US, of Europe, China is equally going to be investing. China is equally rolling out. They're going to be dropping. They've won their 5-year plan. It's very clear what they want to do. They also are going to unlock all of these reserves. They're going to bring interest rates. They're going to incentivize innovation. They believe in technology. Technology is their way forward. They've been growing. They know what it takes to grow. And they believe technology is the way to grow. And the US is a leader in technology, and they are continuing to grow. They've got all sorts of visions, going to space, putting data centers into space, generating energy off the sun in space. I mean, things like that. That is what's going to come. This is the future. So get involved. And it's not happening only in space now, additionally. We've got it in biotech. We've got it in blockchain. We've got it in all these platforms, in AI. That's coming. And so it's going to be a super exciting time. Lots of unlock, lots of opportunities, different opportunities, new opportunities. But it's the choice of the younger generation and not the decision of the older generation to tell the younger generations to shut up and follow their guidelines. It is you, the younger generation, that are to drive this and to innovate and just lean into the new opportunities within the framework that is set and leverage common sense to go down that path. As you grow, you get more responsible. You need to pay more attention. You need to be more reliable. And again, do your own research. I'm not here to give you investment advice. All I'm here to do is point out what I think are things that I look out for and try to pay attention on, and where I see opportunities and why I see those opportunities. So have a happy new year. I'll see you on the other side if I don't see you for a window before the end of the year. So thank you, everybody, for your continued support. It's been a real tough year for all of us. But we're still here. We're still fighting, and we're not going away. And I think the opportunities are getting better. And each time it gets clearer and clearer, and all of you see the windows opening up more and more. And it's all about execution. And we have, and the team at Truflation and Truth Network have tirelessly been executing with a passion that you can feel from me, hopefully. But that is what we're delivering. That passion comes not only from me. All I'm doing is giving a vision. The team building is tirelessly, relentlessly pursuing that vision. I'm just trying to echo their passion, their desire to bring this to market for you, based on your feedback, based on your interactions, and how you like the product and what you would like to see. So on that note, thank you, everybody. Happy holidays, and see you on the other side of 2025 in 2026. Thanks.